Good morning, traders. I'm Emily Advani, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Thursday, October 24th. Markets seem to be riding on the coattails of Tesla after the company kicked off a wave of earnings from the Magnificent Seven and other key corporate players. Stocks are ticking higher this morning after suffering from a sell-off during regular trading yesterday. The Dow tumbled 409 points, or nearly 1%. The S&P 500 dropped 53 points, or nearly 1%. The Nasdaq closed off almost 300 points, or 1.6%. Bill, let's get into today's action with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Yes, good morning, Emily. I'm watching the S&Ps. We're up 0.49%, about half of 1%, which is positive. I mean, yesterday we took a big downtick, and that was really because we saw the Treasury yield starting to tick higher. They actually ticked up to 4.25%. That's negative on equity markets, but this morning we're seeing those Treasury yields tick a little lower, which is positive. So, that combined with, some, positive earnings reports is really helping the market this morning. I mean, we got shares of Tesla, TMUS, Whirlpool, Mattel, Hasbro, Dow, UPS, and others all trading higher after earnings releases. So that's good to see. Boeing, on the other hand, Boeing's down. Boeing's getting hit. It's all about the latest, contract offer they made to the union, which was rejected. What else do we see? Keurig, KDP, they're paying, up for Ghost Energy drinks. This morning on tap, we have Jobless Claims, the PMI flash reports and new home sales. They're all scheduled to be released. So, we got some positive stuff happening today, but we are seeing a nice little rebound for the most part. We're looking over at Europe this morning, and Europe is, in the green, trading higher due to corporate earnings. The DAX is up 168 points, or 0.87%. The big thing with the DAX this morning is the German business activity contracted less than the steeply declined the previous month. And hey, auto stocks are gaining. The FTSE's up 48 points, or 0.58%. All these commodities prices are trading higher, which is helping that index move up. The CAC in Paris up 58 points, or 0.78%. We're seeing strength in luxury goods and automakers, which is positive for that index. Then we're looking last night in Asia. Asia was generally lower. I mean, we did see some gains in the Nikkei. The Nikkei jumped 38 points, or about 1/10 of 1%. I mean, you got real cautious sentiment going on in Japan right now because there's an election this weekend, and so that's causing you're not going to see a whole lot of positive momentum ahead of the election. Markets typically get nervous in front of unknown events such as elections, and then they rally after the election. What else do we see? Hong Kong finished lower by 270 points, or 1.30%. Shanghai in China dropped 22 points, or 0.68%. It's all about the upcoming People's Congress Standing Committee. I think they're meeting tomorrow, and they're expected to provide some additional stimulus action. So, once they get that would probably cause those markets to move a little higher if the market likes the pending stimulus announcement out of China. So we're keeping our ears tuned for that announcement. Then we're keeping an eye on oil. Oil is trading higher this morning. We got WTI at $71.01 a share. That's up 0.34%. We got Brent trading $75.16 a share a barrel. That's up 0.27%. The shift's kind of focusing, from the stockpile releases, which were bearish yesterday, which is why we saw, the oil pull back a little bit. But today we're really going back to looking at the Middle East conflict. Despite those ongoing diplomatic efforts, there continues to be heavy, fires, heavy assaults and heavy action between Israel and Lebanon. So that's adding the volatility premium back into, the price per barrel. And then you got Israel. Israel's going to respond to Iran's missile attack. I don't think it's going to happen until after the election, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's what's going on with oil. Oil is trading higher this morning. That's what I have for you in terms of morning market update report, Emily.
Bill, we both mentioned it. Earnings are a key driver today in the market. So we're going to get to some details on that. So, Bill, what is going on in terms of earnings action?
You got to start off with Tesla. Tesla's the big one. I mean, the stock's up 13% this morning, over 13%. They delivered a beat, 14 cents. It was done on low revenue, but it was positive comments all around. And that's why you're seeing a gain of over 13% this morning. IBM, International Business Machines, they beat by 7 cents, but it was done on lower revenue. That stock's down 3.5% this morning. Lam Research, LRCX, they beat by 6 cents on higher revenue. That stock's up 6% this morning. UPS, Uncle Paul Sam, they beat by 13 cents on higher revenue. UPS is trading higher by 7.8, not 7.97%, almost 8% this morning. Upcoming after the bell, we got Amazon. EPS is $1.14. Expected move is 6.72%. We got Decker's Outdoor, ticker DECK. EPS is $1.22. Expected move is 9.06%. I'm kind of cautious here. I mean, I do like it, but I'm kind of cautious on this one. And then we have Western Digital, ticker WD, William David. Their EPS is $1.72. Expected move is 8.19% when they release this afternoon, this morning, Emily.
And Bill, you're keeping track of all of those earnings, and you're also keeping track of a number of economic events today, including some reports worth noting and Fed speak. So, Bill, what is going on in terms of economic events?
8:30 a.m. we got jobless claims. 9:45 we got the PMI composite flash. 10 a.m. we got new home sales. So we got a lot going on. And then at 8:45 a.m. we're going to be hearing from Cleveland Fed Bank President Beth Hammack. She's a former Goldman Sachs employee that went over to the Cleveland Fed. Jobless claims, will tick up. I mean, last week they came in at 241. They're expected to come in at 245,000 today. New home sales are expected to come in at a 0.6% increase for September. PMI flash reports are expected to come in slightly higher. We'll have to wait and see, but that's the data that's due out today, Emily.
And you're still keeping track of yet more information, data, news, headlines coming out of different sectors and segments. Using your NewsWare, you're watching things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meetings, buybacks. You also look for certain trends on the trading day by grouping stocks together, like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks. So, Bill, what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
I got 10 lower, 18 higher. The rest unchanged in the Dow. I'm looking at my FANG stocks are all showing gains. That's a positive way to start the day. Apple, it is trading higher, 0.2% higher. They gave a sneak peek of their AI features yesterday. And, what are they talking about? AI enhanced writing tools. Okay, not that. They're already out there. Better photo search. Okay. Nothing really that's jumping out at me that really says buy this phone. Improve Siri, improvements to Siri. That these are some of the things that are rolling out, and maybe the ability to create your own emojis. Just not good enough. I mean, that's how I feel. Google, their pact with Anthropic is being probed by UK regulators. Tesla expected to roll out ride-hailing taxis in Texas and probably California in 2025. That's positive. In terms of Dow Jones 30 stocks, you got to start off with Boeing. Union members rejected Boeing's latest all-contract offer. You look at shares of Boeing; they're down 2.9% this morning. Yeah, that's just ugly. I don't know what to say. They should have taken that offer. I don't know if it's going to get any much better. Microsoft, their LinkedIn division, was fined by Irish regulators on a breach of personal data processing. Intel, on the other hand, ticker INTC, an EU court ruled that the EU courts can impose this $1.14 billion anti-competitive fine against Intel. So that's positive for Intel. If you look at the shares of Intel, they're up by 0.9% this morning. In terms of merger news, ESI, that's Element Solutions, Edward Sam India, they're said to be exploring the sale. Tractor Supply Company, TSCO, Tom, Sam, Charlie, Oscar, they're going to be requiring a Levet, which is a leading online pet and animal pharmacy. Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. I could see that. Keurig, Dr. Pepper, ticker KDP, Kilo David Paul, they're requiring a 60% share in energy drink maker Ghost, and they're going to be paying like $1 billion for it. So I hope this works out. In terms of guidance news, AAL, Apple, Larry, that's American Airlines AC full year 2024 adjusted EPS coming in $1.35 to $1.60. The street estimate had it at $1.22. That's a big uptick. UPS, Uncle Paul Sam, they cut their 2024 EPS view to 91.1 billion. Now the street estimate was 91.85 billion. Not awful. Okay. I mean, still beatable. In terms of shareholders events going on, ERAS, Elvis, Richard, Apple, Sam, Orasis is holding an R&D call today at 8:30. Intel Therapeutics, that's NTLA, Fancy Tom, Larry, Apple, they're holding an investors webcast today also at 8:30 a.m. In terms of buyback news, FTI, Frank Tom, India. They announced additional 1 billion share repurchasing authorization, and ticker LUV, Southwest Airlines. They announced a 250 million accelerated share repurchasing agreement. That's positive for the stock, LUV. And that's what I have for you in terms of news hitting the tape this morning, Emily.
This is the type of data that Newsware delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. We've now made it to that time of the show for the Trade Talk pick of the day. Bill, what is your pick of the day today?
I'm going to go with Booz Allen, ticker BAH, boy, Apple Henry. Earnings are out tomorrow morning. The EPS is $1.48, and the expected move is 6.68%. Yesterday's call volume really isn't indicative of anything. You're looking at the 106 calls versus the 116 puts. Heavy negative market day, so I'm not surprised put volume was a little higher, but it was essentially even. Open interest, 2,381 versus 1,634, positive on the call side. But the major brokers are raising price targets, and some are even raising opinions. So I kind of like it. Then one thing I do note that they missed last quarter's, last quarter, but they stuck to their full year guidance, which could be a good indication. So, listen, if I can get into the stock at 162.50 area, definitely under 163. If I can get into 162.50 area, I think I could have a winner on my hands. So, I'm looking, my stock of the day today is Booz Allen, ticker BAH, boy, Apple Henry. And that's what I'm going to do today, Emily.
Bill, another earnings play there, looking for that specific entry price. Those are strategies that you employed yesterday. And coming up, we will do a recap on that pick of the day. So stick with us. But first, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Honeywell, ticker HON, says significant steps taken to simplify optimizing portfolio. Okay. Walgreens, WBA, Walgreens Boots Alliance, and Viva announced a strategic partnership. VEEV, Victor, Edward, Victor. What else? Novo Nordisk, ticker NVO, Nancy Victor Oscar, they're asking the FDA to ban copies of its weight loss drugs, citing safety reasons. Abbott Labs, Abbott and Rickett Mead Johnson will not be allowed to show jurors a statement by government agencies to defend themselves against the lawsuit brought to them against the mother who her son got a severe intestinal illness from the company's baby formula. This is alleged. That's all I'm seeing this morning, Emily.
Okay, Bill, before we get to trading on this Thursday, let's do that check in on yesterday's pick of the day, which was NASDAQ. Now, the company did release earnings this morning. They reported a Q3 EPS of 74 cents. That was 5 cents better than analyst estimates of 69 cents. Revenue for the quarter came in at $1.15 billion. That was just below consensus estimates of $1.17 billion. They also declared a 24-cent quarterly dividend. Not a bad report here, Bill. You were expecting that they would most likely beat on that EPS, and sure enough, they did. You were playing this one ahead of earnings. The market was a sea of red yesterday, but there certainly was a chance for some gain after those earnings were released. So, Bill, how did your call work out?
I mean, it worked out NDAQ. I mean, the stock opened up at $73.98, hit a high of $74.49, and closed at $73.91. Then the earnings report hit. Stock hit 75 on the earnings report. We were looking for 74, and that it hit 75. Walk away, take your 1%. So yeah, it worked out. I mean, not phenomenal, not a 10%er, but it did hit the 1% goal. So happy enough with it.
A win is a win, Bill, and we will check in with you tomorrow about today's Booz Allen pick of the day. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow to end your trading week with NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Advani, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.